Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I am coming at you with League of Legends, the unsung hero of the ARAM series. And in this one I will be playing Warwick. Yeah, this is my second Warwick game, I believe. I'm uploading the first Warwick game. I basically functioned as a site ward for my team, like Caitlyn with her ace in the hole. In this one I actually function more as a fighter. And granted, we're up against a pretty difficult team. I mean, first of all, you got Blitzcrank, and then you team it up with Alistair. That's really freaking brutal. Then there's Varus, who I really believe is one of the strongest ADCs when it comes to the ARAM series. And then, of course, you have Kennen, and his ulti is and can be I don't know, flip it either way you want. But devastating in on this map, in this particular scenario. And of course then you have Fizz, who's always a strong AP and able to dash in and out and get kills and usually survive. So, you know, that's just the way it goes. But my team isn't terrible. I mean, we do have Darius, we have Sivir, so we have some ADC. We have Janna, which of course is a decent support, and she's good at wave clearing. Especially usually builder AP, and we have one of the strongest APs in the game, period, as far as I'm concerned, regardless of what map you're on, and that is Cassiopeia. And of course I have Warwick. Now at first I gotta be honest, I was a little disappointed. I actually had Vi first, and I did a reroll because I had played Vi earlier and done too well. It was just a bad game, and I ended up with Warwick, and I was like, ugh. Because my last Warwick game, I only ended up, being a site ward, more or less. I wasn't able to do much. So in this one, I was kind of thinking about going Magewick, and then I changed my mind when I finally went back to buy. And I am using the old gray Warwick skin, just, one of these original skins, I believe, or just a recolor where they make them all brown. I don't know why they call him gray Warwick. He's brown, but whatever. So while I was back at base, there was a little bit of a tussle already, and right off the bat I gotta tell you I'm worried. I'm worried about the Alistair Blitz combo. I'm worried about, people getting pulled, people getting knocked up, and Blitz just decides to walk in, and it's actually, as you're gonna see, start to go against them. Right there, Alistair's forced to flash, Blitz has to back out. So that kind of tells me that my team is stronger to engage. Now, why I'm constantly hanging back right now, I know I'm not lagging. I never lagged in this game. I think I got distracted when doing something, and I'm just trying to take care of whatever that is. So the trick with Warwick is just trying go unnoticed as long as possible until you get to level 6. Try and get in and contribute what you can, even if it's just a single Fury swipe, whatever the case may be. He does, of course, benefit your team with his Growl, giving them, increased attack speed. And, of course, his Feral, I think they're called Feral Instincts, isn't it? No, Blood Scent. Yeah, I don't know why I got that wrong, but whatever. But his Blood Scent, of course, and right there, you saw it right at the top of the screen. We're kind of out of line, but you just watch it up here real quick. It'll come along in just a moment. You're going to see Cassiopeia. There's Blitzcrank, grabs, flashes away, turns and grabs. Gets knocked into the turret and gives up first blood to Alistair. At least it was to Alistair, although there was team gold. And that's what I was worried about. But again, you also do give that vision to your team. In this particular game, it doesn't help all that much, but we can keep track of the enemy team at least. People who are further back can actually stay up and watch what's going on. Yeah, so right now I'm just kind of hanging back. There's not a lot I can do. I didn't go like a tank wick or anything like that. I went with 2 Duran's rings, as you can see, 5 health potions, 2 mana potions, which honestly was a waste of money, because in the end I end up not needing those mana potions, and of course I went boots. I'm using defensive masteries, 921. I actually took 9 in magic down to magic penetration, because I was thinking about going Magewick, and then 21 in defense. And nice pull by Darius there, and slicing away on Alistair, who's going to end up falling. and, you know, looking for an engage, and I just go in, get a few whacks on Varus, and then I walk out. Despite the fact that, you know, they have a Blitzcrank, a Kennen, and Alistair, even a Fizz, I'm like watching Varus. You know, Varus is their ADC, and if an ADC gets really fed, could be really bad. Fizz could be really bad. Even Kennen could be really bad, but my focus is really on Varus. I see him as the biggest threat on the enemy team. You know, should he get in there and actually start getting fed, getting some kills. I also see him as possibly being able to put out the most consistent damage. You know, Kennen has high burst, and, you know, there's Janna suffering, and she's going to get knocked around, and she goes down. But again, it was to Alistair, so it's not terrible. I don't mind Alistair getting fed, because most people don't build a Bruiser Alistair. They'll build Tank Alistair. And the trick with Alistair, Tank Alistair, is, you know, once you survive his CC, he's done until his cooldowns come up, where a Bruiser can stand and fight you. So, yeah, I'm leveling up my Swipe first, and then I'm going to level up Growl, and then I'll level up Blood Scent. Different than before, where I actually leveled up my Blood Scent first so I could get maximum vision for my team. Who was, you know, able to put it to some use. And, yep, going too far, way too far. And this time Varus gets the kill, and I winced at that one. And, you know, I'm telling my team, you guys keep going too far forward. You know, you gotta stay out of Blitzcrank's reach. There is kind of a fine point between Blitzcrank's reach and where the minions stop at the tower, so you can continue to get XP. I know we can't poke, but that's not a terrible thing. And right now, I've just become dangerous. I have hit my ulti, and I'm actually looking at Blitzcrank. I want to jump on Blitzcrank and suppress him right now. So I'm waiting for him to get into the right spot. And that just kind of did it for me right there. His shield pop. And actually, I'm taking tons of damage. I activate... Oh man, that Janna ulti saved my ass. I activated barrier and then flashed out. And then that risky jump actually paid off for my team. As the enemy team dumped everything they had into trying to kill me. And in all due honesty, almost succeeded. But even if they had killed me, we probably would have still routed them, as you see here, as we pretty much pulled off an ace, more or less. And there goes the tower down, and in comes Varus at this point. And again, I'm badly hurt, so I'm backing out again. So, as you can see, that that play right there really helped take it off for my team. I didn't know if it would work or not, that risk. I could have waited for Blitzcrank's shield to drop, but I didn't want him to walk out of range. So I just decided to go for it, risk it, and hope that my team followed suit, because my team did seem aggressive, and, you know, that was capped off by 3 of them getting caught by the Blitz Alistair combo. So I just kind of played into the fact that they were aggressive, and it looks like Alistair went for a headbutt pulverize combo, and of course, you know, you get that just frustrating when you pulverize. I don't know how much health I walked out with. I think it was like 40. I wasn't paying attention. You can go back and look if you want. I'm not going to rewind back to that one. That was just a risky move that, you know, I was lucky enough to paid off, and you see a nice shield by Sivir, whether it be nice or lucky, but it doesn't matter too much. Now, right now, again, looking at Varus. So while the fight's going on, I'm duking it out with Varus. I suppressed him. He shields, but he realizes he's still going to lose. Not being able to chase him down, I turned on Blitzcrank, and I got the kill on him. And again, I walk away with around 60 health at this point. So I'm like riding the edge right now. But that was, you know, the first risky move, and then my team went in, and then I just decided to go with them because, you know, like my Gangplank video that I uploaded previous to this, I felt I was too timid at times and didn't help my team enough. So that's why I went in, and again, I was looking at Varus. I immediately suppressed him, and I'm going to walk out of the Jan ulti to pick up a Hell Sigil and walk back in. I got a few ticks of it, enough to make me feel a little more comfortable. But I went right in with Varus. I started duking it out with him, and yep, there goes Sivir. But we do get another killer return, and whoosh, I walk into the Varus ulti, but it's not enough to lock me down long enough, and I pick up another kill on Varus, and I don't have my ulti, and I immediately turn around from Blitzcrank. Why? Yeah, that's why. Now, he couldn't have killed me, to be honest. He could have just grabbed me and knocked me up, which actually probably wouldn't have been a bad idea for him. It was just reflex for me to turn around, because I had this feeling, you know, most blitzes do, when you're chasing them in a straight line, will try and turn around and grab you and hit you with that combo. Yeah, and that's what I didn't want to have happen. So I backed off more on instinct than anything else, and Cassiopeia actually paid for that by getting grabbed and getting killed. But still not terrible. If we take a look at the score right now, gold-wise, I was actually kind of laughing that I had lasted this long as Warwick. I'm sitting on 3,000 gold, which to me is, you know, I expected to die a lot more. But then again, my play style is, you know, run around and pick your spots. I don't tend to dive in. You see, getting grabbed and taken out like that. I don't even bother going forward like Sivir did, putting herself in a bad situation. We get some nice trade-offs, though. Our Darius was actually pretty good, and then Blitzcrank comes out too far forward, and I jump on him with my suppression, and he ends up paying for that. Now, see, right now, I really should have been up there, and oof, I wanted to kill Varus, but my team wasn't all that close in my eyes, and they still had Alistair with his CC and Fizz, who's, you know, that strong AP burst. So I really didn't want to tangle with that, so I ended up backing off. So I'm starting to get a better measure at this point of the Blitzcrank, and you know, you see right there, I knew if I stepped in the bush, he'd probably try and grab me, which is why I stepped in and right back out. I'm getting a better measure for the Blitzcrank. I got a good measure for the Alistair, so I should be able to avoid really any problems with them. You know, Blitzcrank is telegraphing his moves. I mean, one of the ways I play Blitzcrank, of course, is passive. I try to stay towards the back a little more. I'll go places and stand still, and I'll let the enemy team come to me. Blitzcrank is often telegraphing when he's going to pull. You know, I've baited out 2 grabs from him so far. And unfortunately, I do get grabbed by that one. And I don't think I needed to flash. I think that was just bad, but... And a quick suppression, and... yeah, Janna actually got the kill there. Like I said, my main focus tends to be on Varus, you know? There we go. Triple kill on Darius, although we end up losing Janna to the turret. It's still another ace. And despite the enemy team having the... I honestly felt like they had the better combo. What they don't have is just, for some reason, the synergy that goes with it. And I get knocked away by Alistair. I see Varus coming in, so I back off some, although I do move to cut off Varus to make sure he doesn't pursue. Because even though I only have 2 Duran's rings, and you can see I still have the 2 mana potions that I never ended up needing, I actually do have a fair amount of health. And with my defensive masteries, I, of course, have decent defense, even at this level, without items. So I would have been able to take hits better than, say, Sivir or Darius, who was really low health. Sivir trying to bait out the pull, but it's a little more obvious. There's the Pulverize, and the Flash, very good move on Cassiopeia's part. You see me again, right after Varus. And then when I see I'm not going to kill him and things are going to go well, I immediately back off, and that ends up getting Sivir caught. Although Alistair is not going to get away, so we trade Sivir for Alistair. You might think that's a bad trade, but in terms of ARAM, it's actually a good trade because of Alistair's CC and his inherent tankiness. So that takes one major CC problem out of their lineup, at least for a little while. Well, we lose some damage, but we still have Darius, who's dealing a massive amount of damage. And of course, like I said, we had Cassiopeia, who's I still consider her to be one of the strongest in-your-face AP bursts. Actually, she's not even burst; she's more sustained than anything else. I just really feel she's like one of the strongest that you can come around. So, I'm actually was fairly happy with my team despite what we're up against, and this is my fault. I was way too far away from my team when that happened, and they actually got a good engage. Even though we lost, even though we got Fizz, we lost Darius and we lost Janna, and so we have a low health Cassiopeia and a half health Sivir to hold this turret. And Blitzcrank goes for the grab, but I end up suppressing him, and he ends up getting killed. And Kennen kind of has the right idea. I'm going to jump back here for a second. Let me jump back to when all this starts. You see right here. You see, Kennen and Varus kind of have the right idea for going with the tower. But here's the problem. In this situation, with the tower being so full health and Sivir and Cassiopeia being low health, this might have actually been a better time for them to turn and help and try and pick off a few kills. I know this goes against what I said in my last game when the enemy team went for kills instead of going for the tower, but in that particular situation, the tower only had a little bit more than 800 health left. It would have been very easy for them for the 5 of them to knock it down. With only the 2 of them attacking the tower, and the fact that they don't have a ton, Varus has some good damage, Kennen really doesn't, there's no way that they're going to get that tower in time. And at this point, they're letting their Alistair and their Blitzcrank go basically 2v3, when they actually could have a 4v3. They would have an advantage, and they could probably get the kills. And you can see what ends up happening for that. Varus does turn, and then finally Kennen does get into the fight. But at this point, it's too late. The tower's already targeting them. I'm already backing off. They might get Sivir because she's low health, and Cass is just dealing out damage. They could probably get her as well. But if they had started from the beginning, they'd have knocked out all 3 of us, and Darius and Janna are returning. They could have taken out this wave with only Darius and Janna here and continued to poke away at the tower rather than do what little damage they did to it now. If me and Cass survive, and even Sivir survive, there will be 5 of us here to defend the tower. We're low health, but they just lost Blitzcrank, so they got 20 seconds before he comes up, then he has to cross the map. But they're also low health as well, despite having Sustain and Alistair. Going tanky Alistair, as you can see by his build, he's not going to have that much in terms of healing. Especially it's got a fairly long cooldown now. So, all in all, it's not the best play. As you see, all 3 of us do survive as they disengage because the turret was targeting them. That's going to allow Darius and especially Janna to come up. And Janna, who's really good at wave clearing, and of course we get her ulti for heal, and I see that poke from Varus did nothing as Janna just healed it all back up, and bad flash by Sivir, but they happen. And now they're on the run despite us taking a lot of poke to the face. They're on the run, and we're back. We're back on the attack. Although Blitzcrank will return. We have a substantial lead, 21 kills to 12. We have a substantial gold lead. We're bordering on 4,000. We have both their towers down. They have none of ours. We have their Nexus to half health. There's really not a situation right now where they can fully on-engage us. Alistair and Blitzcrank are, tend to target one person, and go for that. And they unfortunately do get Sivir there. That was a nice grab and pop by Blitzcrank, even though Varus got the kill. And Cassiopeia badly hurt. At this point, I'm thinking maybe we should step back. But then I see that tornado, and I see it hit Varus. Now, keep in mind, I haven't died yet. I'm still running off the same things, level 13, almost 17 minutes in the game. So at this point, I'm thinking suicidal. You know, I don't like giving up kills if I can help it, but there's really no way I'm going to get executed here. I know Varus is low health, and I want to kill him before he gets too high. Unfortunately, that point has already passed. You know, I want to get in there, but he's smart in staying away from me because he knows I've been targeting him. And he's staying near Alistar and Blitzcrank, who will protect him. But another Janna Tornado chunks his health down again. And even again, as you see, he's got so little left. And I really want to get him. I'm figuring if I'm going to die, maybe I can take at least one of them with me. And I want that one to be Varus. Because again, I see him as the most dangerous on the enemy team right now. Blitzcrank is more tanky. Alistar is almost pure tank. Kennen does not have a lot of AP. Fizz, he's a little dangerous, but not too much. Again, it's like I'm just looking at Varus as being the most dangerous. And right there, I see Varus out of position. So I go for him. He does shield, and unfortunately, I won't get him. But Kennen used his ulti way too soon. And right now, I'm like pinging Varus like mad right now. So I'm telling my team, don't ignore Varus, don't ignore Varus. And they did, and it almost cost them. Unfortunately, Sivir did get the kill on him. And the only one left, of course, now is Alistar, and he's just not going to be enough to hold back Cassiopeia and Sivir, and of course, Janna. So the inhibitor will fall quite easily, although we won't get much else. So coming back, I made the decision right at this point that I'm going to change up my build despite having magic penetration, runes, not runes. Although I do think I went magic penetration reds, armor yellows, magic resist blues, and I might have even gone ability power quints. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what rune set I took, but due to the masteries, I decided to change it up, and I went right with I'm looking to try and maybe bait in, and I know Janna's going to die there. I'm looking to possibly bait him in and get a suppress. But as you can see over Fizz, that my blood scent popped up, so he knows I'm in the area. And right there, I go for Fizz anyways. I bring him down pretty low, but he flashes away. And if he didn't have that flash, he was dead. But Darius, just no fear, Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank doesn't have a lot of damage. And I'm again trying to go after Fizz. I changed my target to Varus. And then I decide to duke it out with Alistar, who even in his ulti is just not going to be able to survive. And Varus turns around, I get knocked backwards, and I am actually going to go down. Which is not well for my team now, because we actually did basically just give over to him. But again, Cassiopeia hadn't died until that point. So she had been working off the basics. It was becoming inevitable that... Oh, that just missed. It was becoming inevitable that they would actually get something. And look at this Janna. Look at her fight to save the turret. Look at her try. She actually picks off Alistar. And she manages to live as Sivir comes in and turns the table, picking up both Fizz and Kennen. That was an awesome move. And look, Janna also picks up Varus. That was just an awesome defense by Janna by herself to defend the turret. Even though we lost it, they ended up dying for it. And they're trying, Blitzcrank's trying to get away. He realizes it's not going to happen. He's going for the kill, but he's just not going to get it. Not enough damage there. So yes, I have gone the Blade of the Ruined King and the, I really don't know how to pronounce that, Katai's Razor, something of that nature. So there is Alistar, there is Fizz, but you see at this point now, we have a ton more damage. As you might have saw, Cassiopeia was buying. She picked up a Death Cap, a Liandry's Torment, and a Hextech Revolver pretty much all at once. And man, that Fizz Fizz's fish just does nothing. And look at Ken. He blew his ulti. He goes after Sivir, and he's just going to get annihilated. And then Blitzcrank is, trying to get away, but it's just not going to happen. More Darius ultis, and then Fizz goes down, and then that's going to be it. That's really what it came down to. If I'm to pick at one point, is when Cassiopeia died. When Cassiopeia died, she was able to spend her gold, and she got a massive boost in damage, and then we were finally able to just start dealing that damage to them. We had a great lead, but we weren't able to spend it. I didn't get to spend till I had somewhere around 5,000, 6,000 gold. Cassiopeia was around 5, 6, maybe even 7,000 gold by the time she died and got to spend. So that's really what it came down to, was just being able to buy the items so that we could actually deal the damage that these guys were slowly building up over time. And that's why I really felt like one of the main reasons we did lose that one fight that allowed them to get our first turret is, in terms of myself and Cassiopeia, more Cassiopeia, we just lacked items because we hadn't died yet. Actually, I died earlier, so I can't say it was me, but again, I really feel it's Cassiopeia who just hadn't died yet. We had our strongest AP who just didn't have all that much damage, and that's what we really needed. And once she got that damage, we just blew right over the enemy team. It also helped that there was miscues, like you saw the Kennen just completely with his ulti right there at the end. He got a little bit of damage on Sivir, but that was it. But alright folks, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed the episode, please give me a thumbs up. Leave comments down below if you have anything to say. I usually answer anyone who talks because, well, I don't get that many, and that's fine with me. Other than that, I'm One Big Bugger. This has been the Unsung Hero of the ARAM series, that being Warwick. I'm signing out, and I'll see you next time.